All right, Monty, so you 20 years working on EMS committees in the state of Michigan, representing the MPFFU. You've seen a lot, especially the last couple of years. You've probably been the busiest you've ever been talking about EMS and just from a legislative point of view. So with that experience and this being a very busy time, what do you see coming down the pike that our MPFFU members and locals need to be aware of when it comes to EMS in our communities in Michigan?
For the foreseeable future, it's doing more with less. I mean, staffing numbers aren't going up like we want them to. Our members are getting beat up at many departments where they're not getting a lot of breaks between calls and running 24/7. And I think coming down the road, the pandemic issue, that's not going to go away. We're going to keep seeing resurgence in that. Everything that I've seen shows that there's one wave after another going to be coming for a while. I think what's coming down the pipe is if we can't get a way to get more medics out in the field for our membership, EMS is going to end up being restructured and almost unrecognizable to what it is now. There's going to be a reduction in either services that we provide or how we provide it. I think possibly we're going to see more of like an Israeli model, providing EMS, one or two advanced rigs and a lot more basic rigs.
Yeah.
And that all impacts us. If we can't get the medics there, you're going to see a reduction of the medics, which means more work for the medics that are there. It's going to be contractual issues when now you have, and we're already seeing this where departments are hiring basics where they used to hire just medics. So I think you're going to see a restructuring of how we deliver our service model.
Yeah, and you didn't even touch on the fact of the human element of we can only last so long and so many calls.
Yeah, we have great departments with great benefits that are leaving because their stations aren't staffed like they should. It's a busy department. They're running 4 ambulances when they probably ought to be running 8 or 10. And so these crews are just getting beat up, one call after another, with zero downtime except for their days off. And that's a recovery day. They're
you're
right
going to go
back at
home,
it.
you got 2 kids, and your recovery day, like you're a zombie.
Right.
You're at home, but you're not there. You're tired.
Exactly.
You talk to some of these people that are working in very busy communities, running crazy amounts of calls. A good night was they got 2 or 3 hours of sleep because they actually got to fall asleep.
Yeah, exactly.
That's not good for 25, 30 years. When you're doing runs of it, fine. You got runs of it here and there, but the human body can't take that for that long. And you can't expect it to sustain it for another 20 years.
Right, exactly. Nobody gets out of this business unscathed. And we are doing everything at the MPFFU to try to get more staffing in the stations. We have legislation that we recommended and came to fruition through Representative Yarrick for Michigan-only option of a license. We call it Michigan-only. It's truly not Michigan-only. It would allow the state to develop their own test, meeting the same requirements that the current paramedics have. And that was a big misinformation thing that was out there. We're not decreasing any requirements. Whether or not the National Registry and COAMPS accreditation has led to the issue of fewer medics, we're not even arguing that anymore, but we do know that it stands in the way of us getting more paramedics out there. And there's been plenty of great paramedics that have gone through department-based programs. And we think that if we can do that, we can get more medics out there. That's one of the things that we're pushing, and we think that might help get people back in the stations. But that, and obviously, we're advocating for the benefits to properly compensate our members. Because right now, if we don't, we're just going to create a round-robin effect where people are going to leave one department to go to another for the better benefits. So we're trying to raise benefits for everybody and keep our people as happy as we can and get them the relief that they need.